Hello and welcome to today's Delta Credit Tip. Today we're talking about Fingerhut. If you're out there trying to build your credit and you want to try to use Fingerhut to help you with that process, well, we're going to give you our take on the whole Fingerhut account. Do we give them a thumbs up or just a finger up? Well, stay tuned. We'll fill you in on today's Delta Credit Tip. Hello and welcome back to today's Delta Credit Tip. I'm Michael Holmes of Delta Credit Restoration, bringing you yet more information to help you in your credit restoration process. Today we're talking Fingerhut, the good, the bad, the ugly, and otherwise. Hopefully you'll find this information helpful. If so, give us that thumbs up. Don't forget, subscribe and hit the bell so that every week as we come out with more information to help you in your credit restoration process, you get this information as we produce it and you can use it right away. All right? So, a large part of building your credit is having credit, and sometimes if we're going into the situation with bad credit, we gotta take what we can get, right, to start establishing that. And Fingerhut is one of those companies that really focuses on those individuals who may be coming from a place of really bad credit to help reestablish it. Now, Fingerhut back in the day used to just be this catalog company where you can buy stuff back when catalogs were popular, way before the internet, right? Sears had catalogs, Macy's, everybody had a catalog back then, and Fingerhut was one of them. Well, going into the new era of the internet age, they've decided, well, we're just gonna focus on an online catalog, and then on top of that, they're gonna pair this whole, hey, let us help you fix your credit stuff, right? So the way Fingerhut works is that it's a credit card, and you can basically choose from an array of product that they have that is basically carried by literally every merchant out there. Walmart, Amazon, Target, all these companies that sell these household items, Fingerhut does too. But what they'll do is they'll help you establish credit by giving you a credit card to buy their products. Okay? So let's first talk about the good stuff, right? And of course, the best thing about Fingerhut is that they'll basically approve anybody, right? They're really, they have an open door. And I'm going to redefine that open door probably a little bit differently later in this conversation, but they have a very open door for people to come right on in. So that's obviously a good thing. Secondly, it is an unsecured card, so you don't necessarily have to give them cash to make that happen. Third, there's no annual fee, right? They do charge a lot, but they don't charge an annual fee, which is fantastic because we don't like annual fees. And they do offer a grace period. Now, a grace period is where if you pay off your balance at the end of that billing cycle, those purchases that you made during that billing cycle, they will not charge you interest, which is great. So if you make the purchase and pay it off, then they're not going to charge you any interest. Okay, so those are the good things, right? It's unsecured, no annual fee. They approve just about anybody, and there is that grace period so that you don't have to necessarily pay interest. Okay, but let's take a turn to the bad. Okay, now some of the bad things about Fingerhut is the annual percentage rate. It's 29.99%, and it's non-varying. So typically when you have an interest rate, you have what they call prime, and then you have the margin. Prime is based on an index that you can find in the Wall Street Journal, right? And then right now it's hovering around 3-something% or a little bit less, right? It's literally almost zero because interest rates are so low. But the margin is what they add on top, right? That's what the credit card companies add on top for their profit. And that can be 16, 17, 18%. Right? Well, what Fingerhut has done is they've fixed that interest rate. It's always 29.99%, unless, of course, probably interest rates rise, right? So if interest rates happen to go down, which really isn't likely in this market, but if they go down further, they're not going to go down, all right? It's a fixed 29.99%, okay? The other really bad thing about Fingerhut is the price, okay? So what we've done is we've took at random 3 products that you could buy off of Amazon, and we compared it to those same products that you could buy on Fingerhut, and we're going to talk about the price disparity between those products. All right, so stay tuned. Let's get on the computer and see what we find. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples here of some of the price disparity that you might find on Fingerhut. So what I did is I picked 3 random products. The first is the Resident Evil 3 video game for the PlayStation 4. Now here is the price on Amazon. We're talking $53.94 on Amazon, which is great. You know, it's a little expensive for an old game, but it's still there for $53.94. When you go to Fingerhut, however, that price jumps to $84.99. Now that's a $31.05 difference, or 57% higher than what you would get on Amazon, right? So that's one product. The next product that I looked at randomly was Rachel Ray's nonstick pot 12-piece set, $119.99 on Amazon. And when you go to Fingerhut, that price then goes up to $174.99, which is a difference of $34.99, which is, again, over 30% difference. And then last we looked at Guilty by Gucci for women, here on Amazon, $60.74 for 2.5 ounces, which is basically $24.30 an ounce, which is crazy to begin with. But as we go to Fingerhut, it then goes to $99, which is a $39.74 difference, or 65% more. So, as you can see, huge difference in the price point. And if you happen to finance this stuff and actually try to pay it over time, now you're paying on top of that high price 29.99%. And so that just compounds how much those products cost. And while this may be a great opportunity for you to build your credit, it's not necessarily a good financial decision, because you're paying 30+% on literally every product that they sell. And then of course, if you put it on their card, which carries with it an interest rate, you're just simply paying more. So really do not like that product. Don't like their price points, and it's simply just a bad financial decision. Some other things that you want to kind of look out for with Fingerhut is in the fine print of some of the other characteristics of the card. One is that if anything does go bad, recognize that they do have an arbitration agreement in their terms and agreement, which is actually kind of a good thing, because before they will sue you for something like default, they've got to go through arbitration, which gives you an opportunity to resolve this before you get sued. But it does also eliminate your opportunity to participate in a class action lawsuit or a trial by jury. It all depends on how that default unfolds, or whatever discrepancy that you have with Fingerhut. It kind of limits some of your rights going into that opportunity. The other thing that I really don't like about Fingerhut is it's a little bit misleading. But if you look at the price on Fingerhut, but is more prominent than the actual price is the monthly price. Now, first off, that monthly price that they're giving you, that monthly payment that you're going to make to pay that off, is an estimate. All right, it's not necessarily the actual payment that you're going to make. It's a close estimate, which I would assume is pretty accurate. But they make that number, that monthly payment, which is obviously significantly smaller, more prominent than the actual price that you're paying. And that to me is just kind of bad taste. Yes, it's there. Yes, you see it. And it can be good from a budgeting perspective, but they need to make the price, I think, in my opinion, more prominent than the monthly. This is a technique that's used all the time by varying merchants to convince people to make a product because they see that smaller price and they fixate on that and they make that decision, and in the end they pay, of course, significantly more. So do we give them the thumbs up or a finger up? Well, Fingerhut kind of gets the finger up from us. It's just a bad financial decision. The nature of the card, despite the ease of getting into it, to me just simply isn't worth it. I'm not a big fan of it. Especially since you can go to almost any bank now. Most major credit cards offer a secured credit card program or a starter program. You can check out some of our other videos to see some of those. We really like the Discover card. There's been a couple of changes to the Capital One card that I'm not too happy with, but it's a good second to the Discover card. But there's a lot of them out there, and if you just go to your bank, I'm sure they can provide you some other options as well. Okay? So again, hopefully this information helps. If so, again, give us that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so that every Thursday as we come out with more information to help you in your credit restoration process, you get it and you can use it right away. And in the meantime, make a choice, make a change, Delta.